Jenny moved into the small apartment on Maple Street, thrilled to start her new life in the city. The space was cozy, with just enough room for her books, her art supplies, and her new job's excitement. It wasn't luxurious, but it was hers, and that was enough. On her second day of unpacking, Jenny stumbled upon an old, dusty typewriter in the closet. It sat at the back of the shelf, its keys covered in cobwebs and rust. It looked like it hadn't been used in decades. She hesitated before pulling it out, running her fingers over the cool metal. "Wow," she murmured. "What a relic." The typewriter was a Remington Quiet Writer, its once shiny black surface now dull and scratched. Jenny thought it would make a charming decoration for her desk, so she cleaned it up and set it beside her laptop. That night, as the city buzzed outside her window, Jenny worked late on her freelance project. The typewriter sat silently in the corner, a quaint reminder of a bygone era. She barely noticed it as she typed away on her modern keyboard. But at midnight, just as she was about to head to bed, a sudden clacking sound filled the room. Jenny froze. It was unmistakable, the sound of typewriter keys being struck. She turned her head slowly toward the corner of the room. The typewriter sat there, motionless, as if mocking her. She laughed nervously, shaking her head. "I must be more tired than I thought," she muttered, switching off her desk lamp and heading to bed. The next morning, Jenny found a single piece of paper sticking out of the typewriter. She was sure she hadn't left it there. The words on the paper were typed in bold letters, "Get out." Jenny stared at the paper, her heart pounding. Was this some kind of prank? But how could anyone have gotten into her apartment? She lived alone and the door had been locked all night. She crumpled the paper and tossed it in the trash. "It's probably just my imagination," she told herself, though she couldn't shake the uneasy feeling creeping into her chest. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Jenny sat on her couch with a cup of tea. She tried to focus on her book, but the typewriter loomed in the corner of her eye. It felt alive, as though it were watching her. At exactly midnight, the clacking began again. This time, Jenny jumped to her feet, her heart racing. She flicked on the light and approached the typewriter cautiously. Another sheet of paper was sticking out of the machine. She hesitated before pulling it free. "You're not alone." Jenny's breath caught in her throat. She backed away, her hands trembling. The windows were locked, the door bolted. There was no way anyone could have gotten in. She grabbed the typewriter, yanking its heavy weight off the desk, and shoved it into the closet. Slamming the door shut, she muttered, "I'm done with this." But the typewriter wasn't done with her.